Hey, honey, what are you doing?
I'm almost ready. I just gotta find a pair of socks.
Oh my God, you've had like an hour to do this. Come on.
Yeah, I was procrastinating.
Really?
You alright?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
That is what I want to hear.
You're terrible. You're terrible. It's like a medieval bitch dying on a wheel. Oh, dear. Oh, my God.
You alright?
Yeah. Oh.
Look, I think this was actually made for dudes.
Yeah, you know what? Oh, your mom was made for dudes.
That's why they call your mom the Titanic.
Fuck you.
How many people went down on the Titanic?
I have no idea.
A lot.
I enjoyed barbecuing a lot more when we used to smoke.
Not worth the foreshortening of our lives.
Speaking of which, did you get the shortening for the elotes?
They all had hydrogenated oil.
You gotta go to the Salvadoran market. Well, some Viennese and maybe some Cayenne will do. How was last night?
Unproductive. One patient persists in his pattern of getting drunk and high, claiming to be possessed by spirits who take control of his body and want him to bludgeon himself to death with a crescent wrench.
What do you do with that?
I told him to go ahead and do it. I asked, why bludgeoning? Pretty improbable way of getting it done.
What did he say to that?
He said because the other way would take longer? Nonsense. The strange thing is, he had this rictus when he said it, this grin, like it was a joke.
Bewildering stuff.
Oh my God, you are not wearing that shirt, are you?
What? It's funny. It's true, and it's totally appropriate to a cookout.
Not this one, it's not. Alessandra's getting her PhD. She is not hosting a child's birthday party. Come on, Rob, don't be a child. Go change into something more appropriate right now.
Oh, fine.
We're late. Oh no, honey, we're not wearing that.
What's wrong with this?
Hey, we're not going to a company mixer, baby. We're going to a barbecue.
Yeah, but Arthur and Alessandra are kind of a serious and chic couple, you know, and I don't know. I don't want to look sloppy.
Like me?
Look, you know what I mean. You have personality. Panache. You are also a creative, for God's sake.
Okay, but baby, you got personality too. You know, just a little, button it down a little. Button it down. So, what's your thesis on anyway?
Freud. Something about jokes in the unconscious, or mimes and automatons, or something Doctor Who-y like that.
Oh God, Freud, that's like so outdated.
Well, you use as tropes.
Okay, but for comedy, everybody loves a good Freud joke. Yeah, I like that one. Didn't Freud say something about comedy? About jokes?
Well, that's why it's awesome that you get to meet Alessandra, because you can pick her brain.
Okay, as long as I don't have to be funny. Because you know how I don't like to be put on the spot like that outside of class. It's kind of like asking a psychiatrist for advice at the barbecue.
Thank you. Look, can you please just try not to be funny when we're there? Like, the last thing we need with Audie there is you telling dad jokes. You know how she feels about patriarchy.
But she tells dad jokes. I mean, like a whole chunk of her stand-up set is topical comedy about eating disorders and wanting men to call her daddy. And then thanking her actual dad, who was in the front row, just like, hey. That was so awkward.
Just leave it to the professionals, okay? Like, you know how awkward and embarrassing you are.
Yeah, but that's like my shtick. That's half of my whole personality at parties, that and drinking.
Leslie has zero sense of humor when it comes to her academic work, okay?
What was your thesis on?
Jokes.
Jesus.
Well, it's serious. She even had Arthur do the translations from German.
I know a few Freud jokes.
Oh, Lordy, I know where you're going with this, and no, keep them to yourself, please. This is serious. Can you promise me no wiener jokes?
Okay, no wiener jokes at the Freud barbecue.
Thank you.
This is the worst.
Let's go to the barbecue.
Can't wait to get your hands on this, huh?
Repressed.
What's that?
I am so impressed with the lovely home you two have. What do we have here? I thought you guys were vegans.
Vegetarians.
You know what Rammstein said?
Let me guess. Du hast mich.
Actually, I was going to say, du bist, was du isst. Isn't that you are what you eat?
You must eat a lot of dicks then.
That's what the dong is about.
The what?
The song. That's what the song is about.
That man-child of mine.
Let's see. Hi. Tell us about your thesis. I was telling Audie about it, and being a comedian and all, I figured she'd have some special interest. Well, it's true.
Look, I don't pretend to know anything about Freud. I don't see how much of what he says is relevant, TBH. But I know there's a really valid reason for like establishing psychology, and I'm sure you kind of dissect it and with a totally enlightened position. But Freud, I just don't see what he has to do with comedy. What's his take on that?
Und so. La la la.
Well, do you actually mean comedy or jokes or humor? They're all distinct in the literature.
I mean, comedy, I guess.
Well, I think it's instructive to first discuss jokes, as Freud did, and only then venture into the distinct further hypotheses regarding the process of the psyche, as jokes possess a unique nature. If you're not conversant with the literature, you would never guess what he discovered as the mechanism of what makes things funny. The economy of psychical energy.
Psychical? Like psychic?
Like the psyche.
Oh. Here you go. Ribbed. For her pleasure?
You know, I don't.
Oh,
Really...
come on, dear. It's all right. I'll take care of it. Look, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna take them meat side down. You're gonna slap them on that grill. 45 minutes. We're gonna flip them over, and then we're gonna mop on that sauce. Hey. She's still going over there, huh?
Oh, Yeah, you know Alessandra. Once she gets going on the roll, she's...
I know. This is true. It's hot as balls on the inside.
Looks like the joke's on him.
So then the husband is like, yes, dear. And the wife makes another reasonable demand, and the husband's like, yes, dear. Then outside in the street, there's this sort of petarod.
What's that?
A petarod, like a farty backfiring in the street of a car.
Okay.
Anyway, so the wife has made 3 reasonable requests of her husband, and then there's this backfiring in the street, and he replies automatically, yes, dear.
So essentially, he's ignoring her. Sounds familiar.
Yes, but the joke is that his unconscious response is revealing. It reveals the true nature of his feeling. Anyway, jokes aren't really funny if you have to explain them.
Get that.
I do think that it's a fertile topic that we often notice anecdotally, that comedians have a greater tendency toward being neurotic without investigating the relationship between neurosis and the facility of utilizing the unconscious for accessing joke production.
I mean, but you're not cool these days unless you're neurodivergent, so...
Yes, and this must be distinguished from mere nonsense. I've been seeing this neurotic who's convinced that he's possessed by a spirit who mechanically compels him to bludgeon himself to death with a crescent wrench.
Like, how is that even possible? Wouldn't you, like, knock yourself out first?
That's what I asked him. Why bludgeoning with a wrench? He said because the other way would take longer, and then laughed maniacally like he had just told a hilarious joke.
Wow. What's wrong with you?
I get it.
Girl, you're crazy.
I get it. It's faster.
Illumination.